Welcome to Yoga for Dentists. I'm Dr. Josie Dovidio, longtime dentist and certified wellness consultant. For years, I've had the privilege of helping dentists reduce stress, prevent burnout, and create healthier, more sustainable lives. And one thing that I've learned is almost every challenge that we face has a wellness component. And usually it's one that's not getting enough attention. When most people hear the word wellness, they immediately think about eating healthier, exercising more, getting better sleep, or just finding a better way to manage stress. And of course, those things absolutely matter, but they're only part of the picture. True wellness is much bigger than physical health. In fact, there are 8 dimensions of wellness. And in this episode, we're talking about one that many dentists are pursuing, sometimes in ways that create more stress instead of more peace, and that is financial wellness. Now, before you tune out because you think this episode is going to be about budgets or investing or just making more money, stay with me because that's not really what financial wellness is. Yeah, it involves money, but it's much more about your relationship with money than the amount of money that you have. All right, so this is about feeling calm instead of feeling constantly worried about money. This is confidence instead of uncertainty. This is about being intentional instead of reactive, right? So it's really about creating enough stability that money becomes a tool for living your life, not the thing that's constantly plaguing you. So the truth is, financial wellness affects nearly every other dimension of wellness. It influences your stress, your relationships, the choices you make, your sense of freedom, and even your physical health. And yet most dentists spend years learning how to make more money without ever learning how to have a healthy relationship with it. Which brings me to something that may surprise you. The first step towards financial wellness isn't earning more money. It's awareness. So let me ask you, when was the last time you actually sat down and really looked at your financial life? Not at your production or collections, not at your overhead, not your investment accounts or retirement plan. I mean, when was the last time you sat down and thought about your relationship with money? For most dentists, that answer is probably never. I mean, we look at the numbers, we pay bills, we approve payroll, we sign checks, and then we save or we spend or we invest. But rarely do we stop long enough to ask ourselves, why am I making these decisions? What beliefs are driving them? And how do I actually feel about money? Most of us spend a lot of time managing our money, but without understanding the relationship we have with it. And that does matter because you can't change your money circumstance without first becoming aware of how you relate to it. All right. So, one of the patterns that I've noticed working with dentists over the years is this: the way you think about money influences the way you earn it and spend it and save it and stress about it. So I want you to think about that for a minute. When I ask about your relationship with money, it's not just about how you spend or save it, but it's also about how you stress over it. See, money isn't just math. I wish it was, but it's not. Because if it was, every high income dentist would feel financially secure, and every practice owner would sleep well at night, right? And every dentist would feel like they're on their road to having enough, right? But we know that's not true, right? I personally have coached dentists making a few $1,000,000 a year who are stressed about money. I've met dentists earning a lot less who have remarkable peace. Now, the difference isn't always what's in their bank account. Usually it's just the relationship that they have with money, because money is very emotional. Money is psychological. The way we feel about money is shaped by beliefs. Beliefs we learned growing up, beliefs we absorbed from families or friends, beliefs we've developed through the process of becoming successful, or the process of failing, or beliefs we've developed through fear, and thanks to social media, through comparison. So that's why I end up spending a lot of time helping dentists become aware of those beliefs, because awareness is what makes changes to those beliefs possible. So, once you recognize the beliefs shaping your financial decisions, you have the opportunity to question them instead of just living from them. One of the core principles I teach, whether we're talking about burnout or boundaries or leadership or financial wellness, is this: you cannot change what you're not aware of. But most of us skip this step and we just want to jump straight to fixing, right? I mean, that's who we are. We're fixers. We want to fix the problem. So when we jump to fixing our money stress, it quickly goes to, I need to make more money, or I need more new patients, or I need to buy a building. All right, maybe, but maybe not. If you think about how you practice dentistry, you wouldn't recommend treatment before you understood the diagnosis. You gather information, you get x-rays, you ask questions. You look for the underlying cause before you decide what to do. And our financial lives deserve the same curiosity. So before we try to change or increase our holdings or opportunities, it's worth understanding the beliefs, the habits, the patterns that are shaping these decisions. Now, years ago, I believed that selling my dental practice would solve my stress. And to be clear, selling my practice was the right decision for me at that time because it gave me options and it created space and it allowed me to move towards a life that was more aligned with who I wanted to be. And I was financially able to make that decision. But what surprised me was this: changing my circumstances didn't automatically change the way I thought about things. Because unfortunately, wherever you go or whatever you end up doing, your beliefs tend to go with you. So if we don't become aware of the stories we're telling ourselves, they just find a new place to show up. Now, maybe you've caught yourself thinking, if I could just make another 100 grand, then I can finally relax. Or if I could just pay off this loan, then I'll finally feel secure. Or if I could just sell my practice, then I would have peace. Now, sometimes those milestones really do make life easier, I'm not going to lie. Especially things like reducing debt or building wealth. Creating financial security is important and it matters. But sometimes what we're really chasing isn't money, it's a feeling. We're wanting security or freedom or a sense of being enough or peace. And when we expect a financial milestone or even a purchase of some kind to create those feelings all by itself, we're often disappointed. So think about something that you've wanted for a long time. Maybe it's a Louis Vuitton bag or a luxury car or a watch that you've had your eye on. It feels exciting. It feels validating. And for a little while, it genuinely does feel good to have that thing. But how long does that feeling actually last? Eventually it's going to fade, not because there was anything wrong with the purchase, but because we were asking this purchase to give us something it was never meant to provide. Those deeper feelings that we're craving, right? Security, freedom, enoughness, peace, they're not created by the size of our bank account or by what money can buy, but they are shaped by our relationship with money. So that's what I want to spend the rest of this episode exploring. Because when it comes to money and financial wellness, I think we need better questions. Better questions reveal patterns, and patterns reveal possibilities. So I'd like to leave you with 3 questions to reflect on this week. Set aside some time, hopefully not when you're driving. Grab a notebook, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and just get curious. So question number 1 is, where is my money actually going? Not where I think it's going, but where is it really going? And this might require you to look at your books, to look at your expenses, to look at your budgets. Question number 2, does the way I'm spending my money reflect what I say I value? Because sometimes those 2 things line up beautifully, and sometimes they tell 2 very different stories. And finally, what do I believe money will finally give me? What is it that you're seeking? Security, freedom, success, approval? Because if we don't understand the feeling that we're chasing, we will keep believing the next financial milestone is what will finally give it to us. And usually that's just not true. All right, so before I let you go, I want to be clear about something. This exercise is not about guilt, it's not about restriction, and it's not about obsessing over every dollar that you spend. Because financial wellness is not about getting everything perfectly right. It's actually just about becoming more aware. So one definition of financial wellness that I really love describes it as having a sense of control and stability and options. Notice what is not in that definition. It does not say that financial wellness means having $1 million. It does not say financial wellness means owning multiple practices or a collection of fancy shoes. Financial wellness isn't measured only by what's in your possession. It's also a reflection of how you relate to your money. So, some of you listening today already have the money, but you don't yet feel a sense of control or stability or options. And others of you listening may be still building financial security, but maybe you already have a healthier relationship with money. So that's why this awareness matters, because before we can strengthen our financial wellness, we have to understand how we're already relating to money. All right, so if this stirred up something for you, I'd love to invite you to keep exploring it with me, because today we only scratched the surface. Right? We started asking better questions. So if you found yourself thinking, I really need some time to sit with this, I'd love to support you. So about twice a year, my colleagues and I teach Elevate Your Financial Future. It's a live interactive workshop that we created specifically for dentists. And we take everything that we just started today in this episode, go much deeper, and we explore the money mindsets shaping your financial decisions. We uncover the patterns that might be quietly costing you both money and peace of mind. And you will learn practical strategies, especially centered around creating profit and handling insurances, right, in order to strengthen your financial wellness so that you can make more intentional decisions with confidence. Now, you'll find the details for that workshop in the notes for this episode, but if you're not quite ready for the workshop, or maybe you just want to continue the reflection that we started today, I did create a free guide called 7 Powerful Prompts to Kickstart Your Financial Wellbeing. So I want you to think of it as an extension of today's episode so you can keep becoming more aware of your own relationship with money. You can download it again for free using the link in the description of this episode. Now, for real, one final thought. Most people believe that financial wellness begins when they just make more money. All right, but I believe that financial wellness begins the moment you become curious about your habits, your beliefs, curious about the story you've been telling yourself about money. Once you become aware of that story, you stop letting it quietly make your financial decisions for you. And from that place, you can start making choices that are better, more aligned with your values, with what you're wanting, and ultimately more peaceful. All right, until next time. Be well.